What's going on, everybody? So, I know my channel's talked a lot about black issues and black communities and shit like that. I'll admit, while I do stand by everything I said and that is how I feel, a lot of the reason my channel focused on that was because I was venting a lot of the frustrations that I was having living in those communities, not being able to sleep at night, how unsafe it was, and just, it was irritating to me. And I used my channel to vent it. Now that I'm no longer around that shit, I think I can use my channel for what its original purpose was. To talk about the issues that are going on in this world that the media will not accurately report because it doesn't fit their agenda, and that you can't really say because of social justice warriors and politically correct culture nowadays. So, I think I'm going to start going back to my roots by talking about what I feel is the biggest issue in my state. Minnesota has the largest Somali population in the country. Minnesota's filled with them. You're going to see them everywhere you go. You go into Minneapolis, there's a community called Little Mogadishu. That's their Somali community. It's basically Chinatown. You go to St. Paul and you walk into Walmart in St. Paul, and it looks like you walked into Little Somalia. The Walmart's in the suburbs even. There's so many Somalians there, it's not even funny. Everywhere you go, it's nothing but Somalians. And even in St. Cloud, which is further out from the cities than even the South Metro suburbs. And you get a cab, you try to take a cab, the entire cab industry and pretty much the transportation industry itself is being taken over by Somalians. These people hate us. Why are we letting them here? Now, I'm going to say this about it. People call Islam a religion of peace. Islam is a religion of death, and it's a religion of hate. I'm going to talk about Muhammad. This is the man that they worship in the Quran. This is the greatest man alive according to Muslims. So many people have Muhammad in their name because Muhammad is so important. Muhammad is who every Muslim needs to strive to be like. Muhammad waged war against non-believers. He cut the heads off of non-believers. He molested children. He took women as sex slaves. He married a 6-year-old. He consummated the marriage when she was 9. He used terror to get his way. This is exactly what ISIS does. When you look at how ISIS acts and how they operate, they are exactly a mirror of Muhammad. Let's address how they're using their tactics to get through war and to do everything. They have assimilated into our culture, so they say, but they're actually not even trying to integrate. They're getting involved in our social justice movements, and every time you criticize Islam, every time you say anything about a terror attack, the first thing that social justice warriors and politically correct media will do is defend Islam. No matter how critical it is what you're saying, no matter how truthful it is, no matter how accurate it is. Now, when you realize those issues, it goes beyond just our social justice movements. It goes beyond just Black Lives Matter, which is heavily influenced by Islam. When I was a part of Black Lives Matter, there were Islamic prayers and everything done during the movement. It goes beyond Antifa, which has ties to all the other liberal groups and has Islamic people in it. It even goes to our politicians. Examples are Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is really big behind allowing them over here. She wanted to allow the Syrian refugees over here. because in part due to the social justice shit. Minneapolis Mayor Betsy Hodges meets with Somali leaders wearing a burqa and a hijab. I'm not even sure what it's called exactly. I thought they were interchangeable, but if they are, they are. If they're not, they're not. She has met with Somali leaders while wearing that damn headscarf that they wear, and has tried to promote, do not be Islamophobic. Not all Muslims are like this. To be a Muslim means you are a true follower of Islam and you truly submit to Allah's will. Allah is the one who wrote the Quran according to them. The Quran is the word of Allah, and Muhammad is the perfect servant of Allah. So yeah, I'd say that any true Muslim is like this. ISIS are the true Muslims. So they're infiltrating us through our social justice movements and through our poor immigration practice. And yet, nobody wants to say anything. The media wants to defend it. People still want open borders. Look at what they've done in France. Look at what they've done in Germany and all over the rest of Europe. Look at the problems that have been caused by allowing Islam. They don't want to integrate. They want to take over. They want to kill anyone who's not Muslim. And yet our mayor wants to defend them. World leaders want to defend them. And the moment we have one person in an election that actually wants to say the truth about Islam, there's a problem. Minneapolis has the highest Somali population in the state. Minnesota has the highest Somali population in the country. Minnesota also has the highest amount of people who attempted to join ISIS. I don't think there's a coincidence there. I think it's actually happening this way for a reason. And that's because of their culture. So, my question to everybody is, if Islam is a religion of peace, why is it found on principles of war? Why is there so much killing in the name of it? Why are they throwing gays off of buildings? Why are they cutting the heads off of people? Why are they branding people? Why are they raping women? If anybody can give me a logical answer to why it's a religion of peace despite all of that, I'll give you a shout out. I'll tell you you're right. I know that Christianity has had some of those issues, but those Christianity issues, there was a Reformation. It was after the Crusades and the Salem witch trials and all that shit. There was a Reformation in Christianity. The Quran, this is all in the Quran, what I'm talking about. There is no New Testament of the Quran. And the word of the Quran will never change because the word of Allah never changes. So, again, if someone can explain that to me, I will give you a shout out and I'll tell you you're right. But I can't think of any. So, Divisive Legend out. Peace.